Check my YouTube channel, subscribe, and share.
Welcome, everybody, to Kimberly Speaking podcast. And today we have a very special guest, Mr. Maurice McDonald. He is a college professor. He is a member of the John Maxwell Leadership program. He is a member of the Community Health Workers of North Carolina. Welcome, Maurice. How are you?
I am fantastic, and it's a pleasure for me to be here today.
Absolutely. So glad you could be here. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, wow. Where do I start? First and foremost, I've had 3 amazing careers. So my mother told me as a little boy, go to school, get a good education, get a good job, get benefits and all that good stuff. And then she said, don't leave any money on the table. And, I decided that, I grew up, born in North Carolina, raised back and forth between North Carolina and the Bronx, New York, and went to high school there. Yes. And so, and I came back to North Carolina, and I, decided I was going to leave college for a period of time, with a bottom line. Let me just be honest. Can I be very transparent? I met a Southern girl on vacation.
Okay.
And I told my mother, hey, I'm going to take a leave. I'm absent from college. I'm going to find myself. I had my speech all prepared. And my mother said, what's her name? And I'm like, oh, boy. So long story short, I graduated from Hard Knott University. What I mean by that is I had to go to school. I had to pay for my education. I was a sophomore. I left home, and I went from them paying to me paying. I don't highly recommend that at all. That's not
absolutely.
Yeah, but it turned out to be a great thing for me because I came here and I discovered law enforcement. So I'm a policeman. I joined the police department because they could pay for me to go to school. So meanwhile, which was a good thing for me. And I laugh, but in retrospect, that was a perfect thing for me. Yeah. Because I learned to work the system, which I highly recommend people to do that. Yeah. And so I did the police department. So they paid for my associate's degree, my bachelor's degree, and part of my master's degree. So yes, all of that, I recommend that part. Yeah. But I served, for nearly 4 decades now. As a law enforcement officer, patrol detective. But the highlight of my career was becoming a DARE officer, teaching drug education, that dare to keep kids off drugs back in the 90s, 80s, and 90s. Yeah. That was me. And then I was a school resource officer. So for my 30 years in law enforcement, 23 of them was in a school, at different schools with young people. So I saw positivity. There's a lot of negativity in law enforcement, but I was very blessed to have positivity. And I saw impact. And I was around school counselors and social workers. Yeah. And that's where I guess I got the bug, so to speak, to be a change agent rather than be a reactive law enforcement. Because law enforcement is usually very reactive. And so I did that. And then when I started teaching part-time in the schools at Central Piedmont Community College. And I went back and my master's in counseling, those types of things. I also did, the batterer intervention program for 13 years called NOVA, which is New Option for Violent Actions. These are men and women who were assaulting their partners. So it was a batterer intervention program, court ordered, mandated. So every Saturday morning for 13 years, I had men, and they had them for 52 weeks. And so it was always that. And then, of course, on Thursday nights, I had women who assaulted their partners as well. So I did that. So, the fact that I grew up in domestic violence, which is part of the reasons why I was in New York City and North Carolina. My mother left running from an abusive man. Little did I know that years later, I was going to be working. Yes, I was. I mean, truly, there's a book I read that talks about my steps are ordered. And so apparently it was truly ordered because I would go into homes of men and women where there was violence. And I always gravitated to the children when everything was over. I found myself, and it got to a point my colleagues started calling me the social worker Little did they know what they were saying.
Wow.
I didn't know what they were saying was working out that way. So even as an officer, I use the word change agent because I realize arresting people is not the solution.
Yeah.
You got to get to the root of the problem as well.
That's true.
And that is important. And so fast forward after doing those kinds of things, I became a high school counselor. So I used to working with kids, and one of the young men that I was working with when I was a dare officer, years later, 14 years later, he stopped me on the street and near the campus, and he recognized me because I didn't recognize him.
Wow.
He was 24 years old, and he said, "Listen to me." He stopped me. He says, "Are you a police officer?" And of course, I hesitated.
I know, right?
Let me find out first. And he said, "Is your name McDonald?" And I said, "Yes." So I knew then he knew me. He said, "I've been looking for you. You saved my life." I said, "What do you mean?"
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And so I said, "What are you talking about?" And he told me who he was, and I remembered him. I'm thinking, "Oh my gosh." He said, "Yeah, I never heard a man talk like you talk in my neighborhood when I was 10 years old. But you came and you told us we had to learn how to pimp the system." Meaning, if you can't afford to get an education, find a way to get a free one.
Absolutely.
Yes. So what he did was, when he got out of high school, he went to the Army for 4 years. He had just gotten out of the military, and he was coming to the college to get his associate's degree, and then going on to the 4-year university to get his degree in business. And he gave me a hug on the street, says, "Listen, that impacted my life." I said, "You remember that?" He said, "You said if you want to be the best, you got to work harder than the rest." And I did say that. He remembered those things. Each day I came to class, because they picked up my last name all the time. They started calling me Mickey D, Ronald McDonald, all my life. A black man named McDonald was going to catch it, okay?
Exactly.
I dealt with it all my life, I know. But so when he said, "Hey, you got the chicken McNuggets?" And they all laughed, and I said, "Oh yeah." Oh, they had fun with me. These are 10-year-olds. And I said, "I got something better than nuggets. I got golden nuggets." So each week,
I know that's right,
I came in with a positive quote each week. And the first one was, "If you want to be the best, you must work harder than the rest." And so he remembered some of these things I said.
Wow.
And so how blessed was I to plant a seed, and 14 years later, I see a harvest coming.
See the harvest. Absolutely.
That was rare. And that was the same week. That was the same week that my mother transitioned. And so I was in my grief moment.
Yeah.
3 different men, young men, came across my life that week.
Are you serious?
With some difficult backgrounds. One was former gang member, Vice Lord. He had gone through the college, got his degree, went on, got his bachelor's degree, and working on his master's. Another been incarcerated, and he also was working on his master's degree. And then this young man came across my life again after I'm above the odds, and I kept thinking, "God, what are you trying to tell me? What is this?" I mean, the odds of 3 men, African-American men, that have been a part of my life, and they have been blessed, and they blessed me. They don't realize it, but they blessed me.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That's when I made that decision to go back to school to get my school counseling certification to become a professional school counselor. That day, I made that decision.
Oh my God.
Because of that young man. I said, there's some more men in school, high school, who need to hear something like that. So I did that, and so and now I'm back at the college. So I tell people, one day when I figure out what I'm going to do, I'll be able to do it then, because I've wanted 3 different careers, bouncing back, but all serving people. And serving people is something I thoroughly enjoy doing, because people can talk about children these days. Yeah. Everybody always talks about these kids. Even when I was a kid, all these kids today with the big afro and all those kind of things. Yeah. But nobody wants to get in the trenches and work with kids, work with children. Yeah. Because it's easy to blame children.
Yeah, it is.
But it's more difficult to get in the trenches, meet them where they are, point them in a direction, but more importantly, listen to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hear what they want. Because oftentimes adults are always talking to them, lecturing them, and you ought to do this, and they don't feel heard.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so as a school counselor, it was very enlightening for me, and sometimes tearful to hear the lives of some of these children. And they're getting blamed, and they're cutting, and they're doing suicide assessments and all those kinds of things. And, so I had that career as a law enforcement and educator, but, and that part has been very interesting for me. And then of course, realizing when my mother passed away, as I said, from, Alzheimer's, I found out that leaky gut can cause Alzheimer's. Talking about gut health, because she was taking these pills. My mother had been taking a fistful of pills for 15 years. And it didn't work for her, and it was causing a lot of other problems for her, the side effects. So
those side effects. Absolutely.
Yeah, the side effects from all those things. So I got involved with some research and helping and those kinds of things to try to find out some things. But I've been doing a lot of different things, serving people, and which I enjoy doing that, watching people lives change, not because of me, just because of planting seeds, helping people, and listening to people, from, as I said, from the domestic violence world to law enforcement. Because I would say I recently came across another former officer who has a mental health background as well. Matter of fact, he's a licensed therapist and author of a book. And so I'm in the process of writing my story about these careers.
Okay. So you don't have a book currently. This will be your first book.
Yeah. And I've been delaying. Listen, I have 3 books in me, and I have been delaying it because I want to go ahead and say this to anybody listening, especially my men, especially my brothers. Go to counseling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there is every male on planet Earth needs counseling.
Every person on planet Earth needs counseling.
Yeah. And women are more likely to get it than men.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
And that's why women the culture lends itself to express your feelings, to express your emotions.
Yeah.
Men, we live in a box. Yeah. And that box has a lid on it.
Yeah.
And we'll stuff our feelings.
Well, it's such a stigma on therapy, especially in the African American community. And I'm a huge advocate for therapy. I study I have a bachelor's in psychology. And it's funny when you said that about the domestic violence, like in your past, it almost seems as if the things that you deal with and you experience in your life, that ends up being what you end up helping other people in. So it kind of like came back full circle. And I was going to ask you, when you were saying that you were a resource officer, because I worked at a high school for years. And I'm like, oh my God, I wonder, was it like a middle school or high school? But then you said you became a school counselor in the high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a school resource officer in a middle school.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a middle school, and it was a Title I school. You know what that means? Free and reduced lunch. All that kind of stuff. A lot of minority kids.
I worked as well.
Issues. And I came from being a dare officer. Everybody loved me. Officer friendly. They loved me. And then I went to
resource officer.
Then when I went to the other school, Lord, how God was taking me. My middle name was a word every day. I'm like, whoa. Okay.
You were out there.
I said, well, I had to turn my hat around and say, well, we're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. And that's it's real now. I had just finished my graduate program in counseling when I got into that school. And I struggled. I struggled from the criminal part of it, doing that job. And then looking at the underlying current to what's causing this. That left brain, right brain for me was like, oh, wait a minute. But then I found out that, you know what, that all these children want to do is be heard.
Yeah.
Somebody's listening to them, and somebody's going to respect them and value them.
Yeah. That's all they need.
Conversation, and it got to a point where they were telling me things and sharing stuff, and they were telling me things, and I wasn't a counselor then, but they were sharing things with me because they trusted me.
Because they trusted you, and when they have that trust in someone that looks like them, it's easier for them to open up and to confide. Yeah.
That's exactly right. Because I had the teenage girls that were pregnant.
Yeah.
But they brought their friend. The friend is telling me that the other friend is pregnant, and it was a language barrier. But because she told me, she got the girl to trust me. Been pregnant 4 months, nobody knows, no prenatal care. So I got to get her to trust the counselor now.
Yes, absolutely.
Reasons, I gotta refer this. And because of those counselors, they became friends of mine. That's when I decided later on to go back to do the school counseling thing like they did. So it's been full circle. And I truly believe that the Creator will put people in your path if you listen.
Absolutely. Yeah.
If you listen and see them. I say if your antenna's up, you can receive. But it's hard to receive not up.
That's true. And you have to recognize it. So you have to be observant, because a lot of times you'll be doing something, out of habit, but that's your calling. That's what you're called to do. And you were already doing it. You were, counseling them. You were doing all the things, all that. So and it's good that you recognize it, because it's definitely needed, especially with our younger kids. You never know what they're going through. I know a lot of them will talk to me, about different things they would go through. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, they are going through so many things at home.
That's right. That is so
sad.
True.
Yeah.
In the home life, the parents will sometimes come in and they got a nice smile on, but they don't know what that child has told me in private.
Even know.
Oh, now I know why he's this way. When you're a single mom and you have a boyfriend and the bedroom door is open when you're doing certain things. Oh, yeah. So now I know why he doesn't respect women.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes, absolutely.
My God.
And see, mom comes in, don't know I know this.
That's deep.
And who's smoking weed, and daddy got a girlfriend, mama's got a boyfriend, they both married.
Oh my God.
And meet everybody. And now you know why she's smoking weed.
And why they're acting the way they're acting out.
Acting out. Because listen, and you're 14 years old, about to turn 15 years old, and who do you talk to?
Yeah.
And just all the different stories, and now you're failing in class. Oh yeah, I mean, come on. So what do you do with those emotions?
Yeah. Because whenever one area is suffering or not where it should be, other areas it affects other areas.
Absolutely.
Hey,
physically, emotionally, the diet, everything was all out of whack.
Absolutely.
And they start fighting in school because what do you do with the emotions?
Your
brain is not fully developed yet, of course.
Yeah.
But yet the parent comes in and says, blame her. It's her fault. All she got it. I work hard. I work 2 jobs. All the stuff and hearing parents saying things like, I work. I got to put food on the table. You don't get a medal for that. Yeah. That's your responsibility.
Yeah, it is.
But it's more than that as well. You got to be there. And that's why, earlier, when I mentioned that about men, because I know men love to use the image of we are the provider. Yes, we are. But we also can be the nurturer as well. Yeah. But the culture doesn't tend to, oh no, that's women, because we're afraid to do that kind of stuff. But so I've been involved with a lot of different areas of helping people.
Okay.
And also it was helping me too to process through some things, because something that you said that is so real, growing up in domestic violence. Fortunately, I had my mother to take me out at a young age, 4 years old, when she decided to leave. And I got exposed to real men. My grandfather and the person that she married, her second husband, who adopted me.
Oh, man.
Gave me his last name.
Yeah.
I call him RN, real men. Because a lot of times people love to use it. They talk about, stepdaddy. No. He says, I'm not the stepdaddy. I just stepped up.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah. He said, I stepped up. He says, you're my son. And you will have my name. And so, so at age 12, my name changed. And
Yeah.
so I
Oh
look
man.
back at it. Yeah. So when I hear about fathers and mothers stepping up,
Yeah.
sometimes it is not the biological parent. Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah. It's
people,
not
you
the
know,
biological.
that's a thing there in itself, the blended family. A lot of these kids, they have these attitudes because the real parents aren't with, their real mom or their real dad. But sometimes God will put a step parent in your life, honey, that will bless you better than your biological parent. But you so angry and you're so, you don't even know what went on, but you want that, original family union. That's not what was best for them or you.
Right.
God's giving you what you need. He's trying to bless you, but you can't even receive the blessing.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes I don't know how to receive it. The same
Mm-hmm.
thing when a man has a good woman and don't recognize it.
Yeah.
He's hurt from the past.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, as we already know, hurt people. And so going back to the past, and by the way, a childhood, that is the root to where things start. And
my book.
People don't want to go back and talk about, just let that go. No,
it affects it.
It's truly. Now you're on your second and third marriage, and you can't figure out why you can't get that because you haven't dealt with this. I don't need to go talk no counselor. I don't need to go. But if you get a call going straight to the doctor, but you won't get the checkup from the neck up, and so therefore that part, and they're saying thing with men, been hurt from childhood.
Yeah.
And now as an adult, they don't know why they doing this.
Don't know why.
And guess what? And you can't talk to your favorite doctor, Hen or C. You can't talk to your favorite doctor, Jack and Daniel.
Ain't gonna help you at all. It's gonna make it worse, actually.
Every week you're turning up and you're doing this because you got all kind of issues going on because you haven't dealt with it. Yeah. Because in your mind you think something's wrong with it. So I definitely want people to know that you got to go listen.
You gotta deal with it.
You gotta deal with it because it will
deal with it.
That's right.
And it will affect. Let me tell you, and I talk about this, and even with my therapist today, we talk about some things, and I'm like, oh my God, like I didn't even realize that. Like when you go back and look at how you are, who you are today, a lot of that stuff stems from things you went through, things you experienced that you didn't even realize. And it's not always traumatic or bad. It's just an experience. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it's the result. The result thing is how you handle things of that nature going forward, or when you're an adult. And it may not be the proper way to handle it, but that's how that's how you handled it. So that's how you always handled it. But it's not right. It's not the right way.
That is so right. Because the phrase says that what you don't work on will work on you.
Listen.
It's going to continue to eat away at you slowly. To me, I look at, I get in my classes a lot in the college, and I use analogies a lot. And there's a whole lot of things. It just comes. And by the way, that's a gift because they come to me, and then sometimes I got to write them down because somebody's, that was good. What did I say?
Yeah.
Exactly. I said, if I can remember what it was, it's probably good. But one of the things I look at when it comes to counseling, I tell people all the time, listen, if you have a sandwich, your favorite sandwich, whatever's on there, and you have mayonnaise on it, and you let it sit out for about an hour or two, and then you went back to get it, and it smelled okay, you taste it, it's all right, and you ate it, and then about 2 hours later, you got the bubble guts, okay? You're feeling bad. You're in your living room, and you feel like you're about to throw up. What would you do? And most people would say, go to the bathroom.
Exactly.
I said the bathroom door is locked. Ooh. And they say, go to a trash can. Oh, the trash can is full or it's empty, it's outside. Oh. What would you do? Would you stay in your living room? No. You would maybe go outside, open the door.
Go outside. Yeah.
And then you would throw up. Mm-hmm. Okay. After you throw up, do you feel a little better sometimes? Yeah.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, because whatever's in you's got to come up.
Got to come out. Ooh, yes.
So the bathroom and the trash can and outside are safe places for you to throw up.
It is.
Just like counseling is a
Oh, that's
safe place
good.
for you to throw up emotionally.
Listen, that's a word right there. Come on, Bishop.
Yeah. See, that's why I call it my
Oh my
Sabbath
God.
theory. Because
Oh, that's good.
we know the bathroom is a safe place
Yes.
to throw up and use the bathroom and shower and the toilet. All that's a designated place.
It is.
And the trash can and outside. You wouldn't stay in your living room because usually your living room is your best furniture, your carpet.
Yeah.
You don't want that smell. You don't want to. You're gonna put your head. You're gonna get a trash can. You're gonna do something. So if you go to counseling and view it as this is the place I can emotionally throw up with no judgment, because nobody judges you if you go to the bathroom and you throw up in the toilet. Nobody's judging you. They're quite happy you did. That's what they're gonna say you're supposed to do. Well, counseling is the same way. And the counseling and those who've never been, I don't know why I'm hitting on this about tonight. Somebody saying this, somebody gonna say he talking to me, but I ain't gonna go. Yeah, I need you to go to counseling and be able to be vulnerable. And the analogy I use is we're not gonna tell you what to do. Yeah, but I want you to imagine you got a file cabinet, you got a bunch of empty files, and 500 sheets of paper on the floor. Is crazy. Now we got to sit down together and you decide which files do I keep
and which ones
do I throw away, which folder do I put in, how do I label this folder, where do I put this, so that all 500 sheets over a period of 6 months to a year, how it takes what it takes, and you got it neatly in your file cabinet now, and you threw about 200 away because it was trash.
Yeah,
and you had to let it go. You decided to let it go. Yeah. Now, if you go back and get that, or you misfound something, then you can put it in the proper plan. Should I put this in my future goals? My things I'm letting go of. You know, words I'm gonna no longer say. Yeah. You know, things like bury butt. Have a funeral and bury the word butt. You know, I love you, but. Because you know, as a woman, you don't want your husband saying, you asking, baby, do you love me? He said, I love you, but you don't want to hear nothing about that but. Yeah. Because everything you said before that but is a lie.
Before that is, just null and void at that point.
I would do it, but how long you been saying that? Yeah. You know, I'm blaming people. You know, they didn't hire me because I was black. They didn't hire me because I was a woman. They didn't hire me because I didn't do this. But you know, they did. Same thing. Yeah. You know, I did domestic violence counseling. I heard all the time. If she did this, she, as opposed to you. I. You know, so I definitely recommend that people go ahead on and take care of that part, get that check off of my neck up. To get rid of some old thinking, stinking thinking, irrational. You know, all that's the stinking thinking is what keeping you trapped. So hey, I'm enjoying this tonight because guess what? I'm telling you what I had to do.
Absolutely. Yeah,
what I had to do because of letting go of some things from the past.
Yes,
you know, because
it like haunts us.
Right. It kept me from moving forward.
Yeah, it will. It absolutely will.
Yes, and so therefore, I just realized that that it's time to go out and do to make even financially, people make mistakes. Yeah, saying things that I would do this, but my money. For example, I just found out someone the other day just shared this with me. They have a job as a teacher assistant. Okay. And came on vacation to visit someone on Spirit Airline. So if you know Spirit, it ain't the Spirit you think it is. I ain't hate on, but it ain't that kind of Spirit. Okay? They came on Spirit. Watch this. And then came here to spend time with their. I hope they don't watch this. If they do, I'm blowing them up.
You are crazy.
They wanted to go shopping in a high-end store. So when I say high-end store, when you know you got the buzz to get in.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And you purchase a $3,000 purse.
Oh
yeah,
Lord.
That's what I'm talking. And so now wait a minute. What part of spirit and $3,000 purse matches?
None.
Okay. Some of the thinking, I want to look like I'm balling.
Yeah.
But I'm not balling.
I can't
because,
do it.
Yeah.
But you know what, Spirit? I never flown Spirit. I flew Spirit. What is this? July. We're in July, right? In May. Not because I wanted to, but because one of my flights got canceled, and I had to get another flight or whatever, and it ended up being I don't even remember the airline that we ended up flying out on. It was just crazy. But we had to come back on Spirit. When I tell you they charge you, oh my gosh, I'm like, I will never fly with you guys again. You would have to be the last airline for me to book a ticket with you guys. Trust me, never again. I'm like, oh my God, I was heated.
Yeah.
I was like,
I did the same thing. I did the exact same thing. That's how I knew about it. And then your bag, they charge you for your bag. So
they charge you on the plane.
Yeah. You think it's cheap, but by the time you look at the disservice and your and your delay,
oh man, it's terrible.
Yeah. So what they say, cheap, as my uncle said, cheap and good got nothing in common.
Listen, my cousin, let me tell you what's up. My cousin said that him and his wife, they both asked for a ginger ale. Why did they pour some of the ginger ale in the cup and gave him the rest in the can? So wanted them to split one can of soda. He was like, no, we want our own soda. I'm like, okay, this cannot be true. I was like, I wish they would.
See, you get what you pay for, right?
Oh, terrible.
That is so true. That is so
the
true.
Worst.
The worst. Yeah, absolutely.
You do. Sometimes you just gotta. And listen, I say this all the time. You know, sometimes you gotta, get the budget, get the best price, whatever. Sometimes you gotta pay them prices to get the service that you want to receive.
That's right.
Sorry.
And that's why, when I brought this up, because sometimes when you look at it, you want a big ball on one end, look like you had it, look like you're wealthy. Because one thing I found about wealthy people look poor.
They do.
They
don't even know. Yeah, they do.
I didn't say rich people. I said wealthy people.
Yeah, they do.
Don't. But they taught us to try to look like you got and that creates a lot of stress.
Yeah,
because you lose your job and all kinds of stuff happening to you. And so I look at it like this. As I said, I've been involved in a lot of different things and realizing that if your health is your greatest wealth.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me about the what is it, love biome? Is that how you saying it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Tell me a little bit more about that.
My website is MauriceMcDonald.net.
Yeah.
MauriceMcDonald.net. And what I found out was that all disease begins in the gut. All disease, the blood pressure, the cholesterol, the diabetes, the alopecia, the stress, all of it is in the gut. If I were to ask you to point to your brain, you'd point to your head. I say point to your heart, to the left side of your chest. Where is your DNA? Your DNA is in your gut. All of it right there. So women with the issues with their cycle, the hot flashes, everything is right there. And so therefore, if your gut isn't right, nothing else is going to be right. Now you can take all the pills you want. You can go to pharmacy, get all this stuff, and they got a fistful of pills for you to take. But guess what? At the end of the day, until you get that gut right, the example I tell people, if you're going to bake a cake and you had a nice batter or everything, a nice secret recipe you got, but the pan, the cat and the dog been drinking it. And the kids were outside playing in the mud, and you brought it in and didn't wash it out and just put that batter in there.
You
you get the picture.
Stop it.
Or you get your oil change and you say,
Yeah.
listen, I want to save a few dollars. Change the oil, but don't change the filter.
Don't change the filter.
Oh,
that's
you're going to mess your car up. That's a $10,000. Your engine is going to be problems.
Yeah.
So the same things with our gut. You
Yeah.
got to take care of that gut and everything. The word microbiome, that's a word that you probably haven't heard of. Microbiome. We have the microbiome on our skin, on our stomach, in our hair. We're breathing it in the soil. They're all around us. And guess what? Once you get your gut microbiome together, everything starts clearing up. Acne. Think about acne. Look at the diet kids eat. When they're eating all the junk and their gut all messed up, the zits start popping up. What goes inside of us comes out on our skin. All those types of things. So once you have that taken care of, and that love biome is what I'm talking about, just imagine fruits and vegetables from all over the world, except the U.S. Why do you think we don't want fruits and vegetables from the U.S.? Toxics. We got Roundup spraying everything. There are things that America would allow, our government would allow, the FDA would allow to be used, and other countries said no because it causes cancer. And we don't even realize it. So just imagine having fruits and vegetables from Africa, Italy, Middle East, every continent, the Amazon, fruits and vegetables, where the soil is rich and no fertilizer. Where it grows matters. For example, what did they tell you when you go to Mexico? Don't drink the water.
Don't drink the water.
No, because if you drink the water, you're going to know you shouldn't drink the water. But how can people in Mexico drink the water and don't get sick? Because their gut is used to the microbiome.
Oh, yeah.
And if you go to the doctor, they ask you, have you been out of the country in the last 3 to 4 weeks?
They do.
Because they want to know, because they already know if you've been, they're going to ask you, where'd you go? And those kind of things. Because it's your gut microbiome. And that's why when you go to other countries and start eating the foods, and sometimes you'll get sick. Because your body isn't used to it. So having the best products has helped people, number one, to get that gut in line, to lower the blood pressure, to lower the cholesterol, to help people lose the weight, help them sleep better. All of it starts in the gut. 2 little sips, fruits and vegetables. And one of the fruits is called baobab fruit. That's in Africa. It's a tree in Africa.
Oh, okay.
And think of all the things that we have never heard of. Noni. Noni's a juice.
I've heard that.
Noni has the highest polyphenols, period. It helps our system. It doesn't grow in the U.S. Jamaica, Trinidad, Africa, Vietnam, places like that. It's a fruit that the juice of it, people have been drinking for years to help them with their stomach and helping them with their people who have cancer, eases some of the pain that they have from that chemo. Yeah, it's powerful. It is powerful. And it has helped me tremendously. And like I said before, when I saw blood in my mother's stool 2 weeks before she passed away, she was in hospice and I was helping the nurse change my mother's diaper. I'm just keeping it real because I saw that all those pills the doctor gave her. You know what? Now I know why they call it practice, because these doctors are practicing on us. The pharmaceutical companies, they fund the medical schools. They teach and look, all the things. And one of the guys I know who's a chemist, and he was telling me when the cigarette companies started losing money because the anti-smoking campaign and people started smoking, they had their chemists switch over to food to get us on food.
Oh,
he said he turned down lots of money. He couldn't do it. He said they wanted to. Philip Morris owns Kraft. So when you start thinking about the things they put in our foods, the processed foods, all that stuff. Everything, the drive-through window, our left arm gets busy going through that window. It's always on the left side. You go through that window and they process foods they give us. And then we got issues. And then I noticed the kids coming to school when I was a counselor. I was watching those kids. All the green food in the cafeteria was in the trash. and they would eat all the pizzas and the hot pockets and eat Takis and all these potato chips and all this kind of stuff. Processed. They got side effects, and so once I got involved with that, I started realizing some things. I said, yeah, this makes sense. And so globally, having people to buy a product that's all natural, organic, and everything in it to help them with their gut. The women with the hot flashes.
Yes. Ooh, don't talk about it.
All the stuff.
That's a show by itself, honey. Let me tell y'all.
Yep. Hey, and guess what? Here's a secret. Ready? Men have them too. You get older. They ain't talking about it. Oh, yeah. Get a little older, watch your body. And like I said, I look back at it, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, be sweating. I'm thinking, what's going on? And then I realized women have them for obvious reasons. Hormones are different, everything else.
Hormones,
But hey, listen. But I know it's when my daughter was talking about this issues for 30 years with that cycle. One day out of the month, that was going to be worse than the rest of them. None of them were nice, but one of them was real bad. So I knew that day, just stay home from school because we got to go pick you up. I mean, it's going to be some stuff.
Now,
she says, Daddy, my pain is cut in half.
Are you serious?
She said she just turned 40. She says it's cut in half. And it used to be issues with constipation 3 times a week. Now she's twice a day. Twice a day, like clockwork. And that's what I'm talking about. So for me to say, this is real. So when it was shared with me, I got in full-fledged and realizing now that's real good. And you'll never hear about it because they don't want to advertise. They don't want to pay LeBron James $20 million. They're not going to pay. How much would they have to pay Taylor Swift to advertise something? Yeah. So they said we want average normal people to have a website, and people purchase from the website. So that's because think about it. I love what I do. But you got to have multiple streams of income. Because our school system lied to us. The government let me tell you something. We've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled.
Yes.
Didn't land on, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. Because they told us to go to school, get a good education, get the degrees, and work for somebody and get killed in taxes for 40 years and be happy with it. And if you need another job, so we can tax you some more. And then you hear wealthy people don't pay taxes. Why? The first thing you got to do is have a job, but have a business. Do not have 2 jobs. You do not have 2 and 3 jobs. I used to have. And they kill you in taxes. That's by design. Tax codes was made for entrepreneurs and businesses. Everybody else, you pay the highest taxes, period. And if a couple both have 2 jobs, Uncle Sam loves you because you will get smacked in with taxes.
Now I understand why these people be not paying their taxes. You get tired of paying money back every year. Like,
Hey, because of the company I just told you that I have, my website, $3,700 last year. I did not have to pay to the federal government. Woo! If I didn't have it, they would have gotten $3,700. And now, when I went to the Football Hall of Fame, I drove up this summer, and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland.
Wow!
From Charlotte, so all those miles and up there, it was a business trip.
Okay.
Legally, morally, and ethically, I do business in Cleveland. See, wealthy people, they write out their lifestyle. And we're not used to that. Like people going to Miami, they go into things. Like if you have like for example, I know you have a book. So if you have a book standing in Miami,
and I'm going,
you're going.
That's a business thing.
That's your business. You're learning how people going on cruises. You know you're going on these places. Write them off.
You have to do a class. You have to do a business tax class. You have to get you like a master class.
Well, see, I learned this from an enrolled agent with the IRS. Listen, he's my tax professional. He's the one that told me. He says, listen, you giving the government too much money. And all these people who are listening, who have children between 7 and 17 years of age, you can hire your children to work in your business. It's right in front of us. It's hidden in plain view. When was the last time you went to an Asian restaurant and there was a 14 or 15-year-old on the cash register? Or someone of the Jewish faith? Got kids working in the. It's right in front of us. We don't see it. You can pay your children up to $12,000, $12,500, and don't pay a dime in tax on it from your business. These people who got DJs, you paying a DJ, $3,000-$4,000 to play in a function you have for about 6-7 hours. They're gonna be there for 5 hours. You paying $2,000. You pay your child that $2,000 and don't pay any tax on it. You see, I'm doing something here in my office right now with you. These bright lights that are shining on me. Half of my light bill is a tax write-off.
I know that's right. Yeah, absolutely.
You got a burglar alarm, your trash collection. Turn bills into expenses. You see, this is and it is how can somebody go to high school, finish high school, 12 years of school, and don't know how to balance a checkbook, don't know debt to income ratio? Can I afford those Jordans? $400 Jordans. And how many hours do I have to work to pay those Jordans? And if I put it on my credit card, it's on sale, I'll charge it. No. See, listen, if one thing we've been killed in is taxes. We don't understand them.
Absolutely.
And that's intentional.
Because,
absolutely. Hey, now watch this. I'm gonna flip the script here. I'm gonna say the word minority, and you're gonna think it's gonna be people of color. And I'm gonna say majority, you're gonna think that's it. When I say minority, that's the wealthy. Wealthy people, small numbers of them. Who's the majority? Middle class and poor people. So the minority don't look out for the majority.
No,
we want you to work for us. Just come work for me. Don't complain. Be a good worker, good employee, and we'll give you a little plaque. And you retire, and you stay here, and just put in overtime. Just
wear you out.
And then have you so tired that when you come home, all you can do is eat, take a shower, look at a little TV, get in the bed to go back to work for them again. That's the real deal. I don't mind. Have a job, absolutely, for your benefits. But after 5 o'clock, you gotta have your thing that while you sleep. Mailbox money while you sleep. Because Amazon, every time you go order something from Amazon, I'm gonna order some toothpaste in a few minutes.
From Amazon?
From Amazon, because the special kind I use. By the way, stay away from that fluoride. That stuff's horrible for your teeth.
Oh yeah, that fluoride will mess your teeth up.
Fluoride is not good for your body, and they don't say again. They've been putting that.
They used to have us. Yes.
They've been giving us stuff to destroy us for years. And you find out, I need to do this, so I get a special type of toothpaste. Doesn't have that in there, but it's got the mint and it's got all kind of stuff. Black seed. Black seed is good for all this kind of stuff. Black seed oil, all those kind of things. And it's made by an African American company. So the idea of it is, and by going to that website, WeBuyBlack.com, because there are a lot of things that are in there that we don't even think about. I know I'm all over the place tonight, just sharing a lot of different points, but
but it's good information.
To educate something, and I tell people to be able to have people to purchase from my website while I sleep. And helping people who want their own website, we can help them get theirs as well. Because at the end of the day, if we don't do something to help ourselves, who will? Because I see other cultures stick together. You've heard this thing about how long the money stays in the Asian market, in the Asian community. They only buy from each other. In other cultures, but African Americans, our money don't even stay at the 30 minutes. in our communities because we're too busy buying things.
Yeah.
You know, buying stuff. I got to have this. I got to have the, the red bottoms. Okay, I got it. But wait a minute. Do you have $2,000 in the bank account?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you buy Nikes, do you have Nike stock?
That's a good one.
My enrolled agent with the IRS, he tax professional, home-based business tax laws is his specialty. He said everything that you purchase, you need stock in that. So if you're buying Exxon gas, you need Exxon stock.
Oh,
so if you buy Louis, then you need some Louis stock. if whatever you're purchasing, and put it in there and let it grow.
You need
Coca-Cola stock. And that's what we used to put money in the bank, and the bank is taking our money and making millions and billions.
Exactly.
And then they charge us, they nickel and dime us. We got to have that multiple stream and be smarter. Because there are people making $40,000 a year, but they're using the system well and paying as little tax as possible because they're listening to other people. And not being scared about everything, and I got to go out and buy this and I got to buy all that. And people will buy $100 stuff, buy a whole bunch of stuff and something for that's going to help their gut. Oh, that's too expensive. It's just we got to get smarter because especially in the African American community, there's a lot of sad singing and slow walking.
That's true.
Health issues.
Younger and younger now.
Yes, absolutely.
That's true.
Indeed.
That is so true. Whew, Lord, I need more time. We got so much to talk about. I'm gonna have to bring you back. We're gonna have to do a special one just like on the taxes and things like that, because that is so important. Like we really gotta get on that. We really have to get on that.
And see, and by the way, like I said, I'll let people know I'm not a tax expert, but what I do, I listen to people who are. And I try to put people on game. Because a 1099, you got a W-2 job. You don't need 5, 4, 7 W-2 jobs part-time. Because that's how you get killed in taxes. You got to get a W-2 and a 1099. Meaning something from your home. Why? Your home, all businesses have the best tax break. So turn your home into a business.
That part.
You have an office. So now that new laptop you bought, whatever you buy, is a tax write-off. And why is write-offs? Because that's where you save your money.
Absolutely.
Because I know people in the barbershop. Man, I worked overtime, man. I shouldn't have worked overtime. Them taxes, they kill me. Man, I don't know why, man. These taxes killing me. Man, some people know all. And then you tell them what they need to do. I don't know about all that. They ain't never heard.
They don't want to do it.
You ain't never heard of it for a reason. They didn't want to teach you.
That's for a reason. They don't want you to know about it.
You haven't heard of it, doesn't make it wrong.
Don't make.
I'm sharing you what the man told me and how it helped me. I've been doing it for 7 years. Hello.
Oh my God.
Listen, everybody on Facebook taking pictures of the food, putting on Facebook. My tax professional said, no, take a picture of the receipt.
I know that's right.
The receipt is what you want to say. Keep your receipts.
Keep your receipts.
Business lunches.
Yeah.
You're working having lunch with a business partner. If you go to a Panther game, that was entertainment. You went to the game with a business partner. So, strategies. You going to Myrtle Beach.
Absolutely.
You going to Mexico. Hey, you're going on vacation. Set it up properly. Before you go. Send the emails. Have the paper trail. Set it up properly. You spent $3,000 on that trip. Have something other than memories and pictures. Selfies. Have more than that. Write it off your taxes next year. Say, look, all I know is you can educate people. Well, you can attempt to educate them. But there's a saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Come on.
When they're ready. Because if you don't, you'll look back and go and complain.
Yeah.
Man, those people, how they do it, man, they know secrets. I don't know,
They know secrets.
I'm talking about my relatives now.
Oh, I know, right? Come on, they know secrets.
They be talking, man, I see all over the place. Say, yeah, well, how you do all that? I'm writing it off.
I know that's right.
These taxes killing me. Well, let me show you. Well, I don't know about all that. Hey, my philosophy is if you like it, I love it.
Listen, that's what they say.
Share with you. And first and foremost, like I said, this is an honor for me to be here tonight. And the fact that you've written your book and all, you don't know that you inspired me to continue writing mine because yes. Continue.
You have such a wealth of knowledge. Like you got to get this. And I was in the meeting the other day, and the guy was telling us about how he recorded his thoughts and sent it to a ghostwriter, and they wrote the book for him. So if you want to I can give you the information.
Yeah.
Listen,
that's gonna be the path I believe I'm gonna take.
Yeah. No, seriously, because writing is not for everybody. It's tedious.
Yes, it is. And I've been recording some now. I've been recording some now.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get the information.
Yeah, just sharing the stories.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the information for you.
That'll be great. That will be great because I got at least 3 of them in me already.
Oh yeah. We gotta get them out there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Share that story,
Yeah.
Because nothing is, and it's not all about me. No. It's
to help somebody else. I'm telling you.
To help somebody, because I know there's some brothers out here that's got some issues that they're afraid to talk to anybody about. I mean, 6'3", 250 pounds of muscle, but an emotional weakling. Because I'm not allowed to express my feelings.
Yeah.
And yet, like I said, I'm on my 3rd marriage and I can't do this and I can't do that. And now, you wonder why you can't have a good relationship. It's stuff that happened way back. Go back 25 years. Go back 30 years.
Yep.
That seed is there.
True. Yes,
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that.
Gotta dig it up. Gotta dig it up. Gotta deal with it.
Because it ain't dead.
Oh no. It's active.
Exactly.
It absolutely is. Absolutely. All righty. So I know you gave us your website, MauriceMcDonald.net, correct?
Yes. MAURICE McDonald's the hamburger restaurant.net.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put that in there with the episode as well, so they can contact you and find you and all that good stuff. Is your social media is connected to your website as well?
Yes, it is.
Or
it's there. Okay. Absolutely. If they go there, they can get in touch with me in any way they can.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put all that out there with the episode as well. So, again, I just want to thank you for coming on because you're just so knowledgeable. I remember when I met you a while back and we had a conversation, I was like, oh yeah, we got to get you on the podcast because you have all this information that people need to know. So I just really appreciate you coming on today. Yeah.
Also that I have what I didn't mention, also have the radio station that on Tuesday morning.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes. It's about you. It's called It's About You. The It's About You show every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. drive time, 8 a.m. to 9 time, and that's WDRB Media, and so it'll be there. And so if they want to tune in, hey, by all means, I talk about some of these things. I talk about things that will impact people, impact the lives of people.
Okay, I'm gonna put that in there as well because I did see that. Well, like I said, we got to put all that information out there, so they'll be able to find you on your website, your social media, and like you said, the radio show. Just want to thank you again for coming on, guys. Thank you so much. As always, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share my YouTube channel, Kimberly Speaking 8062. Until we speak again, be blessed.